Wolfman is back. All right, as Blumhouse, Universal, and so forth um, continues to try to bring back some of the classic monsters. Here we have the Wolfman in their latest attempt to kind of go a little bit old school and in a new school world, I guess, if you want to say. Some of these movies have worked out better than others. I don't think that it's been a failed attempt in any way overall. But I guess it's the bringing the old school monsters to the new generation. So I guess that's fine. I always complain about the remakes and whatever. I don't necessarily know that these movies necessarily a remake. I kind of give them a different viewing, a different slack to them. Also, I'm not going to say that I'm an expert on the Universal monsters and whatever. Enjoyed some here or there, but not seen, everything and so forth. Obviously, a little bit before my time. So, I kind of view these a little fresher in the new school world as well. So, with all that said, what is this Wolfman about? Let's see what the IMDb plot, and then I'll ramble on about some of this all over again. A family at a remote farmhouse is attacked by an unseen animal, but as the night stretches on, the father begins to transform into something unrecognizable to them, but to us, we know what he is. But anyway, yeah, so this is just another go at it. We're seeing a lot of these movies now. We had The Invisible Man, and now we just had another Dracula kind of movie, and Wolfman, and I know there's stuff coming in the future. So this is, like I said, one of these kind of franchise, you want to call it, the Universal monsters, whatever. That I don't necessarily put in the same boat as the remakes or whatever. And that's just kind of more, I guess, a personal thing. I guess people that are more hardcore fans of these classic characters may judge these movies in a different light than me. Like I said, a lot of them are a little bit before my time, so I don't judge them maybe in the same light as maybe remaking Nightmare on Elm Street or Friday the 13th, and certainly the Halloween movies that we've just gone through and so forth. So with that, I kind of go into a fresh mind with the Wolfman here. I'm not going to say I had an over-eagerness to see the movie. Like some people, obviously it was marketed very big, and they went big on this movie. But certainly wanted to see it. Big fan of Julia Garner, so wanted to see what she can contribute to this movie, what her role in it, and and obviously every time we have a werewolf in a movie, you want to see the transformation. Obviously, that's a big part of it. A big part of it for horror fans. A big part of it for special effects. People are really into the special effects of a movie. And so forth. So, lots of things to look into or look forward to in the movie. But I would say, my eagerness is not up there where some probably was. Anyway, as far as kind of, and this being, still, I know it hit theaters already, but it'll be releasing, more widely soon. We'll try to keep this spoiler free, but for those who kind of know the werewolf theme and what's going to happen here, there's no huge twist or turn here to kind of ruin. We kind of see early on the father when he's younger, and his father kind of in this, remote location, whatever, hunting, and, kind of has a run-in with the possible werewolf, whatever. We don't really see anything hugely specific, but us as the audience knowing that the movie is about werewolves and the Wolfman and whatever, we kind of know what's out there, but so forth happens. So later on, he's he a little boy then, now he's grown up, and he's taking his wife and his daughter out here to try to get away. I forgot exactly the reason why they ended up going out there, but to kind of get away and kind of introduce them to his past life and so forth. Obviously, they get there and things are the same but not the same and so forth. And he seems he kind of stops. There's a guy inside the road. They have a conversation, and the guy's like, yeah, okay, I'll drive with you, we'll go over here. Obviously his wife I will admit that it was a little weird seeing Julia Garner play this guy's wife. I think it was wife, it might have been girlfriend, but either way, I just wasn't feeling that. I'm pretty sure that she played the wife or whatever. I was kind of viewing her more as maybe the older sister. I don't know. Definitely, maybe not paying 100% attention as the movie kind of started. I kind of went in thinking that was the older sister, but if I remember correctly, that was his wife. I don't know, if I completely missed that or not. But anyway, they're there in the car, very nervous about this guy getting in the car, and they start driving off, whatever. And an incident happens where the car ends up crashing. And in the process, the audience pretty much knows what has happened or what is happening. But yeah, a werewolf is involved, or some creature is out there that hasn't been involved, and snatches the guy, and obviously the car is going to kind of on its edge, and it's going to have a bigger crash. And the girls get out. He eventually gets out, but it's not unscathed. He's been injured. We'll just call it injured in the process. But they get out, and eventually, they will make it to the house that they were looking for. It is, I guess, taking it out into the remoteness and into the forest, whatever, obviously makes sense for the werewolf, and also gives a huge element of darkness to the film, and hides the werewolf, obviously, and obviously they come out at night and so forth, and that's the whole thing. So the setting is not a problem. It gives definitely the darkness in the cover, and the creepiness of knowing that it's out there, and where it's coming from. But obviously, he's a little in tune to the possibilities. They're not really in tune to the possibilities of what's out there. And obviously, as he kind of starts to not feel well and things go wrong, they kind of get that feeling that maybe something is out there. You can kind of see some of the suspense building and some of the tension building in the film. And then it's going to, obviously as the audience and as anybody who knows the werewolf and knows the story or whatever, that what's kind of happening here. The father is going to change. So you're going to end up basically with, the werewolf that is out there, and then the father who's becoming a werewolf. And so, we're getting a kind of slow transformation. He's kind of, starts off not feeling well, then you kind of see, slowly parts, start to change in him till, he goes full scale. And then obviously there's the other werewolf that's out there. So we get a little drop, a lot of drama. Obviously, the two girls here girls, and trying to, save their father, deal with their father not feeling well. He's acting funny at times. And then obviously we're they're going to see the werewolf out there. We're going to see the werewolf out there. There's kind of a tense, chase kind of scene, and, they end up on top of I think it was a greenhouse or something like that. And, that was kind of craziness. And, obviously then eventually, knowing the father's going to eventually change too. So it is what happens after he changes. And I won't go too much further than that. Leave the the kind of final act and high dramatics for you guys to kind of check out. Um, I would say like that while it was a good setting and so forth, being out there in the forest and the darkness and whatever, blah blah. I don't know. Just when the movie kind of ended, I was kind of like, it just seemed just like a little bit. I don't know. I didn't like the story. I just thought it was too simple. I don't know. I guess I wanted, this was supposed to be, I don't know. My thought was that this was supposed to be something bigger and more bolder and more high stakes. And I don't know. I guess I just wanted something, I guess, a little bit more complicated than, yeah, we got, his backstory a little bit and, returning and blah, blah, blah. But that just seems so basic. So, we've kind of seen this kind of scenario before of if something happens to a character, early in life, and then they revisit it and it is true, or it comes back, or maybe you were haunted when you were little and then the haunting comes back now that you're an adult, or, something like that. And it just seemed like it kind of followed that. And I just wanted something maybe different or bigger or different ideas and something different in the story that was maybe a little bit more complicated than that. It just seemed, I'm not normally one for needing a huge, production here of story and blah, 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 and this and that, because you guys know that I like slashers and like the blood and guts. So, for me, it would have been as simple as, hey, they got there and here's the werewolf, and, or there was a lot more people and the werewolf is ripping, tons of people apart and we're getting blood and guts everywhere. That would have been, fun stuff and good stuff without a simple idea. But I guess because it's the Wolfman and because, it is Blumhouse and Universal and we're doing something, like, just would have thought that it was so big, but it ended up basically being those three characters and then the wolf, and you kind of almost the ending is kind of predictable in a way, and you kind of know where the film is going, and the entire time you kind of know where it's going. So from that aspect, I was very much kind of disappointed. Like, it's not typical for me to want more in that kind of circumstance, but I guess I expected it from here. And just, when it kind of finished, I was like, that's it? That's what they came up with? I mean, I don't know. As far as the transformation, obviously that's a big thing in werewolf movies. The father kind of, starts off, doesn't feel well, and then it's kind of slowly going, and then it happens. And, I don't know if that's the transformation that I want. I kind of almost like that scene where you kind of see them, go for it all in one time, and you get to see the whole kind of, the pain, the agony, the body transforming, like, all in one kind of thing, and you kind of get to stop and focus on that, as opposed to, I'm not feeling well, then, looking at my hands, and, maybe the face is starting to, and then it's kind of a, prolonged kind of thing. I don't know that I'm into that. I almost like the let's stop, pause, watch this person become the wolf, and the agony in that, and the pain in that, and all of that, and then then we can move on. So again, not that they did a bad job with it, not that the special effects was bad or not. The other wolf looked all right. That one already was a wolf, so we didn't really get to go through the process there. But and I guess it also kind of limits it, because it's just the father, he transforms one time and that's it. It's just a movie in one circumstance and one time. It's not, maybe some of the other werewolf movies or times where we see either multiple people transforming into the werewolf, or, we see it in 1 month where, they transform back. Time goes by, then we're going to transform again, so we get multiple transformations and so forth. This is just a one-time, one-shot, this is what we're going to get thing. So again, I guess at the end, I just wanted more, something different and more in the story, something maybe a little bit more complicated in the story, and definitely more of a transformation, not just this kind of one prolonged one. And I didn't have any major complaints about the wolf when he's formed and when he is the wolf and so forth. Um, but I guess that is the best way that I can say about my feelings for this movie. It's just wanted more and definitely expected more because of who's behind the film and what they're trying to do, and not only just for this movie but because they're doing bringing back, as I said at the top, um, some other of the monsters and so forth. So you want more, you want them to go big and grand. Obviously if they decide to do another Wolfman or whatever, blah blah, and this is just kind of an introduction to him, then maybe you could say, okay, give it a little slack. Maybe if they do another Wolfman type movie, they can go bigger and multiple wolves and or expanded time period and some of that stuff. But I don't know. Again, it is just all about more, and I felt we got less. So and it was an hour and 43 minutes. So I guess it's started to go towards long. But not really. So I guess they could have expanded, maybe done something different. I don't really know. But yeah, I guess I didn't really have any problem with the performances. I thought Julia was good. I don't think it was her best moment either. Again, I don't know if that obviously putting her in the role and in the movie. Like I said, I'm a fan, so this is she did a what is it, apartment 7A she did. So she's done some horror now, so she's kind of staying in that. But I don't know, like even her role just didn't seem right. I don't know. So with that, I think I'm just gonna give this one 2 pools of blood, and that is out of 5 because I just left wanting more and so forth. So. That's 2 pools of blood out of 5, and yeah, it could have used some more blood and guts next time. Get more bloody in it too. More of that is good as well. So with that, horrorgoreReviews.blogspot.com is where you can find most of my reviews, all my reviews written in video. Certainly mostly video reviews for a while now. I keep saying it, but I will write something hopefully again in the future. But video reviews is where we're at. So like and subscribe and do everything else that everybody wants to do here on YouTube. If not, no worries. It is okay. I thank you for your time regardless. Twitter, Facebook information down below. Feel free to reach out. Talk horror, ask for reviews there as well. Definitely in the comments section down below. What did you guys think of the movie? Did you like it? Did you like the transformation? Or were you kind of like me and just wanted more? Or something bigger? So with that, I will catch you in the next review, horror fans.